Hey there, guys. How's it going? I hope everybody is having a good weekend. And I feel like I need to address a few things. This, as you can probably tell by the title, this has to do with the content and kind of some stuff behind the scenes and really just an explanation and sort of an apology and then kind of a statement, I guess. I have noticed recently a very large uptick in the amount of people who seem displeased with the content and gameplay that I'm providing, and that's natural. There's no way everyone's going to be happy. There's always people who are unhappy. There's always going to be trolls, but you know, some of these may be new people who are just trolls or just really picky. But some people I do recognize names of, you know, being here for quite a while who have voiced their disapproval of things, from very minor things and giving good constructive feedback to just being a complete ass, pretty much. And I feel like I should explain things and kind of address a few things. And I guess first off, apologize for anyone who, you know, who has seen my content, you know, and thinks, you know, if you think it's been declining and that my gameplay has been declining, I apologize. I'm sorry about that, because, you know, that's not what I want. You know, I kind of had pride in the fact that the channel, you know, for a long time, and I would hope to continue to be this way, for a long time, that, you know, I put out content that was not only interesting to watch but informative at the same time. And it seems lately that it's been neither of those. Maybe it's been interesting. I haven't really seen many people complain about it not being interesting, but I've seen a lot of people complain about just like how many mistakes I'm making and like how much stuff I'm doing wrong and all that stuff. And while some of it's not valid, some of it is valid. And really, I've been thinking about it lately, you know, as I see people say this stuff, and it's kind of occurred to me that, you know, maybe it's somewhat true, right? You know, like when I streamed the other day on Wednesday and I uploaded that VOD, after that stream, after I finished, I felt pretty ashamed at the performance I put on. Not entertainment-wise, but actual building skill-wise, right? I was trying to mess with belts to get some smelters working for a really big belt-based smelter, and I was just struggling massively. Now, part of that is due to the belt compression stuff that is just a huge pain in the butt right now. But part of it is just, I was just playing really badly. I was missing a ton of obvious stuff. I wasn't thinking clearly, and it seems like it's been that way for a while, according to you guys as the viewers. So why is that? What's the deal? Well, I hadn't really noticed it until people mentioned it. And to be honest, after thinking about it, I think that it's that, well, some people are just picky and just being really rude. But then the other part is, I think and this is going to sound weird, is I think I'm almost out of practice. Like, obviously I'm still doing tons of Factorio content, so it sounds odd, but the difference is, you know, back, you know, many months ago or a year or so ago, you know, when I was doing, off the top of my head, like the 015 sim and even the SpaceX Plus and even Mad Science and sending supporters to space. I mean, this base this is probably the thing I'm most proud of I've ever done in Factorio. But back when I was doing those, you know, I was getting a lot of off-camera practice, right? Like, you know, or even when it wasn't off camera, like in the 015 sim or whatever, you know, I was learning, you know, I was with great group of guys, you know, Mojo and Will and Zedith and Hoofney and Zuri and stuff who, you know, it's not like I was a bad player back then. You know, I still knew quite a bit, I would say, you know, because I'd played for a long time, but I was still learning stuff. Like I was, you know, they were showing me stuff with Rails and even just our different ideas and perspectives, was, you know, giving insight into my gameplay. And then like in sending supporters to space, it was something I'd never done before. And it was a challenge, right? And the thing is I spent a ton of time off camera, probably like 100 hours off camera working on this. And the difference is, and this is what I think a lot of people don't understand, and this is kind of the statement I need to make to people criticizing, is if you have a YouTube channel or a Twitch channel and you stream and make content and you make, you know, videos and commentate it for Factorio, because that's what we're talking about, and you managed to just not mess up, then props to you. You are probably one of the only people, so I doubt it's actually true if you say that. But to a lot of people who are criticizing, you don't have you don't make content while trying to play, and there's a big difference, and this is the difference, is like, when I was able to work on this map, Sending Supporters to Space, or other maps, or just even non-series maps at all, just my own personal maps, I could do that in my time, where I could sit here and I could look at a problem, like I could just stand here like I am now, and I could get out a piece of paper, and I could be like, I could sit here and I could think about it for 30 or 40 minutes if I wanted, right? And just totally brainstorm and figure out what I want to do. And you can't do that during a video. Now, if you want to do editing, sure. I've already explained the editing thing I don't know how many times, so I'm not going to address that again. But like in multiplayer series, like it's come up a lot in the series with KOS. And it's like, I mean, we're doing a multiplayer series together, and we can't really just be editing huge parts out of it. And it's like, well, you could prepare, you could do prep, and it's like, well, we do, but if we do too much of it, then you guys are going to be upset because you missed so much of it, and it's like, and some stuff just happens in the moment. You can't prepare for everything. So it's like the difference I'm getting at here is, it seems lately over the last couple months, or really ever since I started or finished working on Sending Supporters to Space, after that point, I hadn't really been practicing per se. I'd kind of just been going through the motions, if that makes sense. With the platform series with Scarhoof, that did provide some challenges, which got me thinking some more, but I still messed up a lot there. The Explorer series, obviously, I've messed up quite a bit with a lot of different things, and I think part of it is just I haven't had a lot of practice, especially with belts. And that's the other thing, is I have done a lot of bot-based stuff. I haven't really done much with like a bigger, medium-sized belt base since, I guess, the beginning of this map. But again, I had off-camera time to do stuff. Like I could just log in and just, sit here for 2 hours and look at the base and figure out what I'm gonna do. And that you can't do that for a stream, and you can't do that really very well, depending on the multiplayer session. So I think that's what it is. And with that, I'm going to be starting a new series in the near future, which is going to, I hope, be different, provide some different cool entertainment for you guys, and also give me the practice I need to become unrusty with parts of the game, right? It's going to be very heavily belt based, and I think that'll be good, because that will allow me to practice with belts. As far as I know, it'll be single player, because that also allows me to do like I did with this map and do off-camera work, or even just off-camera sitting here and thinking about stuff, so I don't make as many mistakes on camera. So I just wanted to kind of explain and apologize, and then just address, the people who, are saying I'm making all these mistakes and all that. It's like, yeah, I'm making mistakes. I'm human. If you don't like the way I'm playing, then, quite frankly, why are you watching? Like I don't get it sometimes. I don't mean to go on a rant, but it's like some of these comments are just, they're not even helpful. They're not even constructive criticism. I can accept and encourage constructive criticism, right? If you're like, I noticed, Exterm, that, you did this wrong, but may I suggest doing it this way? Or perhaps you could have done something like this. But some of these comments are just flat out just rude, just like mean. And it's like, if you're that upset with what I'm doing, why the hell are you even watching this? Like, why do you even want to be here if you're so upset by the way I'm playing the game? And it's like, on top of that, it's like, don't tell me how to play my game. You can give suggestions, but if you're like, some people are just, it's really infuriating, I guess. Some people are just like, well, you did this and this wrong. Did you realize you like screwed this up? And, I would like, so-and-so does this so much better. It's like, okay, well then go watch them and leave me alone. And like, sure, I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. And it's a lot harder when you're trying to record at the same time while also playing with somebody else at the same time, if it happens to be multiplayer. And it's like, you know what? I'm trying to improve. I'm doing the best I can. If you don't like it, then that's your problem. Really, to be just blunt. And I guess the other thing to address briefly is I have seen still the kind of the same subject with people saying like, there's really bad teamwork in the Explorer series with KOS, or like you're just a really bad team member, or you know, you guys just don't work well together, which is funny because there's been even more comments saying the opposite, that we work really well together. We've both been having a lot of fun, and I would say that's one of the most important parts. But then on top of that, it's like people just expect it to be perfect, right? They expect it to be like when Will and I and Mojo play, and it's like, I mean, the difference is huge. Before the series, the Explorer series, I had never ever really played. I played once briefly with Catherine and Sky in the party thing for the 1 million copies sold. But you know, that wasn't really the same because there was like 50 other people on there. It was a huge MMO thing. Besides that, I had never played with her. I had never recorded with her. Same for her with me, obviously. And it's like, so far on the map, you know, we have episode like 25, up to 25 recorded. At 30 minutes apiece, there's maybe 15 hours of gameplay that we've had together. And it's like, you know, you don't just get instant cohesion most of the time with somebody you've never played or recorded with after that amount of time. You know, Colonel Will and Mojo, I have probably played like 400 hours with them or more over different maps. And it's like, the difference is just huge. And the same thing was with them. When I started playing with them, it was pretty awkward, and we had like different ideas. We were doing things totally differently, and it was not very good cohesion. So it's like, you know, I think we're getting better, Catherine and I, and it's like, I mean, we're having a ton of fun. I think we both agree we work pretty well together. You know, there's mistakes, obviously, and mishaps, but that's just part of it. So, I guess I just wanted to address that, and just, you know, I'm sorry guys if my content and gameplay has declined. I will do better to try to improve that, and you know, kind of get my mojo back, as it were. You know, just I think I just need practice is what I need. Like, I play the game a ton, but it's different to just record a series than to actually sit back and like play at my own pace, not have to worry about, have I done anything this episode, not have to worry about, is the episode 3 hours long, you know. And it's like, I was doing that more, you know, a long time ago. And the other difference is time. You know, I don't really have time to record, work, and practice the game off camera. But, you know, it is what it is. So I'm hoping the new series will be enjoyable, and I can kind of practice stuff there, and, you know, just hopefully get back, you know, more into practice and really be able to think things through better, and just kind of be back to my old self, and all that. So thank you to everyone who supported me and do support me currently and enjoy the content. It just makes me so happy to know that you do enjoy the content. You know, if you don't enjoy the content and do not like the way I'm playing, then I apologize, but then maybe you shouldn't be watching. I don't know. Anyway, that's gonna do it. Thank you so much for everything, as always. If you have any thoughts, leave them down below. You know, like I said, I'm always open to your feedback and constructive criticism, as long as you're not just being a total jerk. So I think that'll do it. Thanks, guys. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.